Hey, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo. And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, man, this literally does not work. Let's get open for business here on this Tuesday morning. And welcome to Don't Sleep on the Dallas Cowboys, because you literally cannot sleep on the Dallas Cowboys because things happen late in the evening, late at night, first thing in the morning, so you want to be up to speed with all that is America's team. More than likely today, I imagine the Dallas Cowboys will be bringing in a bunch of offensive linemen because right now we are literally razor thin. One of the things the Dallas Cowboys, great teams, have had in common is the offensive line. We know about the Great Wall of Dallas. Back in the 90s, of course, that offensive line that was opening up holes for Tony Dorsett and keeping Roger Staubach protected were fantastic. And when you look at 2014, it was the pinnacle of this group as an offensive line. I mean, when you had 3 Pro Bowlers as well as in 2014, it's an amazing thing. And when you can protect the quarterback and you can open up holes with running back, everything else is that much easier. Last year we lost basically Tyron Smith. Ron Leary went to Denver, and the offensive line was nothing like it was before by the middle of the season. This year, offensive line, it's starting to get back kind of their footing. We had a lot of transition in this, and we still have Tyron Smith, who has been playing well when he's playing, but he's missed a couple of games. He's had the shoulder stinger, of course, the back issues and things like that. So that has been a little bit in flux. Cam Fleming has come in and he's played well, but he's not Tyron Smith. Of course, we all know we lost Travis Frederick, who is literally the general of that line. He is the guy that makes the calls. He's been gone all season. You plug in a rookie, Connor Williams, who was getting kind of outmatched and probably was more like a deer with the headlights on. But after being injured with the shoulder and missing a couple of games and getting some time to step back and learn, when Zach Martin went down, he played fantastic. But this offensive line has been completely in flux. Xavier Salafalo took over for Connor Williams when he got hurt. Now, Xavier Salafalo got poked in the eye so bad that his whole eye socket and everywhere swelled up, closed, and turned purple and things, and ended up in the hospital. Now, it's deemed that it's not as bad as it was, but as an offensive lineman, you have to have vision. So I doubt that he's going to be ready to go this week. Zach Martin, of course, is dealing with the sprained knee that he's been playing on all season. So our offensive line has not been as stout as you'd like it to be. And now that you've got Xavier Salafalo questionable, you still have Tyron Smith with a stinger and wearing a knee brace on his elbow. You got Zach Martin on one leg. We're thin on the offensive line, without a doubt. So look for the Cowboys to bring some guys in, for a workout and, hopefully not need to play them. But if there's any good news for the Cowboys is that we're playing Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is all but eliminated from any hopes of playoffs. They have a high-octane offense, but it turns over the ball a lot, and they're atrocious on the away from home. They're worse than we are, and we're only 2-5 this season on the road. So, yeah. So, that being said, we got to get right this week. The team will be back at practice tomorrow, and hopefully they've got a new attitude and things. But I love my Dallas Cowboys. You can look around and see all of the Dallas Cowboys material that I have collected and bought over the years. I come here every single morning, drink my coffee, and talk about the Cowboys. Every night I go outside here to my fire pit and have the final word about the Dallas Cowboys. And all day long, I'm checking about my Dallas Cowboys. Win or lose, you're not going to see me throw a jersey in the trash. I won't be happy about what they do, but I'm still going to support my team. But the thing I wonder is, how come sometimes we're stuck on stupid? I'm old. And sometimes when you get old, you get stuck in your ways. You don't want to change things. I remember when I got married my first time, we had a townhouse. You know, it was the townhouse that raised my kids in. Me and my first wife, we divorced and things. And for me being sick, I ended up having to basically start over from this flesh-eating bacteria. Kind of similar to what Alex Smith is dealing with, an infection in the knee. But I went through financial ruin. And I had a hard time trying to hold on to this townhouse. This townhouse had all the memories of being married and having my kids and, you know, out playing in the snow with them, and my daughter running down the sidewalk and falling down and cutting her knee and just popping right up like a trooper, or Michael being chased by bees down the side and stuff. It was hard to let go of that because it's what I knew. And I kept fighting to keep that. But finally just wasn't able to, and was forced to change. And from that point, I ended up moving and into a different house. But when you're in the middle of something, you don't realize that what you're fighting for is not the answer. That there's something greater out there. Because moving to another house, oh my God, it was great. Went from a townhouse to a single family home. I could build my workshop so that way I could do more woodworking and things. I had enough yard where I could build my first big, fish pond. And the kids had more yard to play with. I remember the kids out there in the backyard. Basically, funniest memory was the kids were playing in the dirt. And I remember my daughter saying, "Dad, Michael stole my dirt." And I remember going ready to go over to him and saying, "Michael, how dare you sit on the dirt?" And then I'm looking and thinking, there's dirt everywhere. Are you kidding me? But that's the Dallas Cowboys with this offense. They are stuck thinking about all of the great times in the 70s and the 80s where we were just a ball control offense. Looking at the 90s with Emmitt Smith and Michael Irvin and Troy Aikman, and we controlled the clock and everything else. And it's like Jerry Jones is fighting for just that. But the reality is there's something greater out there. Opening up the offense. Instead of being this simplistic yesterday, you got to start coming to the future. And until they let go of that past, we're going to have crazy games like we had last week. Because our offense is so antiquated that it basically relies on you mauling the other team. There are very few gimmicks. There's very few wrinkles. Because those kinds of plays will give you an advantage because the other team doesn't know what's coming. When the other team knows what's coming, generally speaking, you got a better chance to stop it than when you get surprised. And unfortunately, we've had so many people who have pointed out that Scott Linehan's play calling and offense sucks. From T.O. to Des Bryant, to Bryce Butler, and now basically Amari Cooper saying, listen, we can do some other stuff. I can go deep. I can beat my man. Let's open it up. And had he not done that, right now the Philadelphia Eagles might be in first place in the division. So I look at the Cleveland Browns letting go Hugh Jackson, and all of a sudden it's like the lights have come on. The team has come alive. That the fact that the Cleveland Browns are in the playoff conversation. They won't make it. There's too many variables. But think about it. A team that was 0-16, a team I refer to as the doo-doo Browns on a regular, fired their coach in mid-season, and now they're in the playoff chase. The Minnesota Vikings, who looked inept, a team who was one step away from the Super Bowl last year, pays a king's ransom for a Kirk Cousins, fires their offensive coordinator in mid-season. I believe they scored 40 points this past week and are now a team you got to worry about for the playoffs. But yet, we still hold on to Scott Linehan. And I can't understand why. Our Cowboys, I love them, but I'm tired of being the joke. If we go to the playoffs and we're one and done, I will literally be sick. Because you know all the haters out there will be back. And this is on you, Jerry Jones. This is on you. You cannot argue with what you have built with that stadium. What you have been able to do as far as marketing the Dallas Cowboys being the biggest fan base in the world. You can't argue with the talent that Will McClay has put on the field. The problem has been what we do with that talent. We wasted a Tony Romo, a DeMarcus Ware, a Jason Witten. I hope we don't waste a Dak and a Zeke. We got 2 games to finish proving that we belong in the playoffs. And from there, we have to have our shit together if we want to get that Super Bowl. So, friends, as always, I have got to get to my day job, because they always tell me, don't quit your day job because there's no future for you here. But do me a favor, check out Katie Calls It. She's got her first football video explaining why and how she became a Dallas Cowboy fan, all the way in England. And it's really cool. Definitely subscribe to her channel. She's good people and stuff. And people ask, well, why are you doing that? Well, the motto of my life in this channel is spreading the mojo. And by that, that means if you can do something to help somebody else out, if you can make somebody's day a little brighter or a little easier, if you make it to the top of the mountain, it's your job to help pull the next person up. And that's the way I live my life, and that's the way I look at this channel. So if you need help to get your channel going, to introduce yourself to a new fan base, just give me a buzz. I'm Mark Holmes with Cowboy Joe Boo, and I'll see you guys soon.